Be careful. Two people are trying to trap you. Archangel Michael says, the hour has turned and the curtain is lifting on a plan that was stitched in whispers. Two people are moving like shadows at the edge of your life, rehearsing a script where you are meant to stumble. They believe you won't notice the pattern, but I am placing a light over every step they take. They have chosen timing as their first weapon. They arrive when you are tired, busy, hurried, or emotionally stirred by something else entirely. In that fog, they intend to steer your choices for their own gain. One keeps the tone friendly and warm, while the other plays strict and urgent. It is a classic performance titled, Good Cop, Bad Cop, but the goal is neither to help nor to protect you. Their aim is to squeeze a quick yes out of you before your wisdom wakes up. They will point to a deadline that doesn't exist. They will wave a problem they claim only they can solve. They will tell you that silence equals disaster and speed equals safety. Archangel Michael says, listen for the rustle of false urgency like paper flames. Real fires smell like smoke, but theirs smells like perfume. If you pause and inhale, you will recognize the difference. The first is the engineer of comfort. They flatter your strengths, recite your wins, and sprinkle empathy like sugar. The second is the engineer of panic, pressing on your shame, your fear of loss, or your old need to prove yourself. Together they form a trap called triangulation. They bounce your emotions back and forth until your chest becomes an echo chamber. In that echo, your judgment gets drowned by the roar of just decide. They will offer a shortcut that cuts only you. It might be a chance to fix a mistake quickly, to double an investment, to mend a relationship with one signature, one payment, one meeting. But shortcuts that are demanded in the dark lead to cliffs. Archangel Michael says, let your pace be your sword. Slow is a shield that confuses people who rely on pressure. Delay is not refusal, it is discernment giving itself room to breathe. The first sign of their plan, they need privacy from your wisdom. They will say, don't tell anyone, keep this between us, or others won't understand. Secrets are the soil where traps take root. The second sign, they present incomplete documents or screenshots cropped at the corners. If the truth was whole, it would arrive whole. Cropping is how a lie learns to look true. The third sign, they keep you focused on the prize and not the price. Your attention is dragged toward what you could gain, not what you must risk. In that shine, the cost hides like a blade under velvet. Archangel Michael says, I am giving you 3 questions to lift every veil. What are the verifiable facts? What is the exact timeline? What happens if I refuse today? When those questions are answered honestly, hidden teeth become visible. These two people are synchronized by a shared hunger. One wants your access, the other wants your silence. Access opens the door, silence locks it behind you. They may use digital bait. a link that asks for your login to verify a charge, a QR that confirms your attendance, a PDF that cannot be viewed unless you install this viewer. Tools are mirrors, but they want those mirrors to become trapdoors. On the ground, they may use paper bait. A courier with a sealed envelope that looks official but ties you to a debt, a receipt that implies consent, a blank field they promise to fill later. Paper can bless or bind, yours must only bless. Archangel Michael says, touch every document like it is a future you are agreeing to inhabit. If you would not live inside it, do not sign it. The ink you hold today becomes the air you breathe tomorrow. They will push you toward rooms where you cannot bring a friend. They will nudge you to phone calls where recording is not allowed. They will suggest meeting you just outside the building to avoid cameras. A trap is a story about urgency that refuses to be witnessed. Invite a witness, and the story starts to unravel. Invite two witnesses, and the story admits it was never true. Archangel Michael says, choose 3 guardians, a wise friend, a practical friend, and a brave friend. The wise friend asks better questions, the practical friend checks the numbers, and the brave friend says, no, when your heart is too soft to say it. With these 3, your life grows thorns against deceit. The first person will mirror your values to earn trust. They will repeat your phrases, compliment your boundaries, and reference past moments where you were brave. They speak your language to sneak into your home. The second person will mirror your fears to keep control. They will tell you what always happens to people like you, list worst-case scenarios, and insist that today is your last chance. They speak your nightmares to rent your decisions. When they approach, they will split the roles of messenger and confirmer. One brings the news, the other confirms it with a sigh that feels like truth. But truth does not need a sigh, it brings its own breath. Archangel Michael says, trust the data that can stand alone. If a claim cannot survive your independent verification, it should not survive your signature. Verification is devotion to your future self. They may target your compassion. Perhaps a family emergency you can solve with a quick transfer, a medical bill you can help clear, a shared friend who begged them not to tell you. Compassion is a holy gift, do not let them redraw it as gullibility. They may target your ambition. A partnership that needs your name, a project that cannot launch without your face, a percentage stake that disappears at midnight. Ambition is a divine motor, keep it bolted to due diligence. They may target your loneliness. A sudden warmth from someone who once ignored you, mornings punctuated by good morning messages, evenings filled with plans that evaporate the moment you ask for clarity. Loneliness can be healed without selling your future. Archangel Michael says, your worth is not up for auction, your attention is not a public park, and your time is not a donation box on their table. Close the auction. Build a fence. Lock the box. Tonight, you may remember tiny details that never made sense, the way their tone got high when you asked for specifics, the vanishing of documents the moment you requested copies, the phrase, "trust me," used as a period, not a bridge. Those details weren't small, they were breadcrumbs. Now they lead you out of the forest. Create a safe ledger that belongs to you alone. Write down every promise they make, every number they quote, every date they name. Traps hate ledgers because ink refuses to forget. Archangel Michael says, your calendar is a shield. If a decision cannot survive one sunrise, it is not a decision, it is a trick in costume. Give every choice the dignity of daylight. Here is a practice called hands and eyes. When they speak, listen with your eyes, not your ears. Watch their hands, their breath, their timing. Truth has rhythm, manipulation has choreography. When you ask a clarifying question, they will pivot to your emotions. When you ask for a document, they will offer a story. When you ask for time, they will offer pressure disguised as care. Archangel Michael says, the truest care never competes with your clarity. The truest help amplifies your questions. The truest bond allows you to step back without threat. Two people cannot trap a heart that has drawn a line. Draw it in your speech, send it in writing. Draw it in your phone, I will call you back after I review. Draw it in your feet, we will meet in a public place with a witness. They will speak of loyalty like it is obedience. But loyalty without truth is merely silence on a leash. You were not born to be walked around the block by someone else's fear. Archangel Michael says, I am giving you 3 anchors: pause, proof, and presence. Pause to slow the heat, proof to test the claim, presence to keep your breath steady. With these anchors, storms can only circle, not carry you. You may experience a dream where a door appears twice. In the first dream, the door is open but the hallway is too quiet. In the second dream, the door is closed, but you hear laughter beyond it. That is your signal to wait. If you receive a call with poor connection, a voice with static, and a request for a code to verify identity, end the call and redial using a number you trust. Verification should never begin with surrender. Do not read keys into the hands of strangers. Archangel Michael says, it is not rude to protect yourself. Safety is courtesy to your future. Boundaries are love letters written to your destiny. The gentle one will invite you to just meet for coffee. The stern one will stand nearby, introduced as a colleague who knows more about the technical side. This duet is designed to make your guard look dramatic. You owe no performance to anyone who rehearsed your downfall. Your only performance is for the mirror where your eyes meet courage. Bow to that audience and to no other. Archangel Michael says, name your prices aloud. My time costs reflection, my signature costs verification, my trust costs transparency. When you say this, schemes slip on the floor you just polished with truth. They will try to rewrite recent history. You agreed last time. We already discussed this. You promised to help. Memory is a sacred archive. Do not allow them to scribble in its margins. Keep a folder called Sunlight. Into it, drop every relevant email, message, receipt, and note. Schemes evaporate when closed rooms become windows. Archangel Michael says, not every confrontation requires a sword. Sometimes the holiest victory is a door left unopened, a meeting not attended, a silence that refuses to be baited. Victory can be quiet and still be thunder. You will notice they frequently say the word only. It's only a small amount. It will take only 5 minutes. We need only a scan. Only is how wolves dress like sheep. If they present a trusted third party, look for the triangle. The trap needs angles to stand upright. Remove one angle, your consent, and the triangle collapses into a line you are free to walk past. Archangel Michael says, never allow your signature to travel alone. Pair it with copies, confirmations, and context. A signature without companions is a traveler in a dangerous town at night. You may feel guilt rise like a tide when you resist. Guilt is their leash. They will tug harder when you pull away. Let the tide go out and reveal the sand of your solid reasoning. When you state a boundary, they will test it within minutes. That speed is diagnostic. Real respect does not need a second reminder written in red. Archangel Michael says, breathe into the space between stimulus and response. In that space, I can place wisdom in your hands. In that space, your past stops being your scriptwriter. If they are family, the choreography will lean on shared memories. If they are friends, it will lean on shared secrets. If they are colleagues, it will lean on shared goals. Shared does not mean surrendered. You can honor a past without auctioning your future. You can keep a secret without keeping a lie. Archangel Michael says, rehearse your phrases now so you can use them then. I'll think about it. Please send the full document. I will get back to you after counsel. Your voice becomes a gate when it knows what to say. Watch for inverted compliments. You're smart, so I know you'll see it my way. You're kind, so I know you'll help. You're bold, so I know you'll jump. Flattery is their hand on your back toward a cliff. If they present a complex plan, ask them to draw it. Every arrow should point to a clear step you can verify. When arrows turn into loops, you have found the maze they intend to keep you in. Archangel Michael says, make your decisions in rooms with bright light. If a choice must happen in a shadow, decline until you can move it into the sun. Sunlight is due process for your soul. They will warn you that delay equals doom. But doom that cannot wait an hour is not doom, it is theater. Let the curtain close without you in the cast. Have a cooling ritual. Drink water, step outside, hold a coin until it warms in your palm, name 5 true things in the room. Cooling rituals bring your mind back to your side. Archangel Michael says, your clarity is a covenant. Keep it with habits, not hopes. Build it with structure, not slogans. You may feel a sudden desire to apologize for protecting yourself. Notice that reflex and let it pass like weather across a mountain. Mountains do not explain their height to the rain. If they bring witnesses, evaluate the witnesses, not the number. A chorus can sing a lie in perfect harmony. One piece of evidence can outsing them all. Archangel Michael says, ask for numbers that add up on paper, not just in speech. Ask for dates that exist on calendars, not only in promises. Ask for names that can be reached, not merely referenced. When they fail these tests, they will pivot to blame. They will call you cold, suspicious, difficult, or ungrateful. Take every insult as a metal pin to your armor by the truth you upheld. Do not become your own prosecutor after you escape. There is no trial where you must defend the boundary that saved you. Freedom is not on parole in your life. Archangel Michael says, gratitude is your next step, not to them, but to yourself. Thank your earlier decisions that built today's strength. Thank your inner sentry who stayed awake at the gate. Write a small letter to your future self, I kept the door closed, and nothing terrible happened. Place it somewhere you will find later. It will be proof that safety felt strange only because danger had worn a groove in your habits. If they return with a softer version of the same request, note the pattern. A trap recycled is still a trap. Kindness to them does not require blindness for you. Archangel Michael says, release the need to be understood by those who plan to use you. They will not understand your no until they need one for themselves. Until then, they call defense an attack. Bless your thresholds, the door of your home, the screen of your phone, the line of your signature. Say, only truth and mutual benefit pass here. Simple sentences are strong locks. Archangel Michael says, your next opportunities will not require secrecy, speed, or shame. They will invite questions, offer references, and celebrate your due diligence. They will not shrink under a magnifying glass. 2 people were building a net, you turned it into rope and climbed higher. They wanted your panic, you offered patience. They wanted your silence, you invited witnesses. Archangel Michael says, I have stood at your right hand in rooms where you felt alone. I have whispered in your breath when your voice shook. I am the steady in your inhale and the courage in your exhale. You are allowed to make choices that seem slow to others and fast to you. You are allowed to choose safety over spectacle. You are allowed to end conversations that circle without landing. Archangel Michael says, let your life become a museum of clear agreements. Every exhibit labeled, every date named, every signature paired with context. Museums protect treasures, treat your future like one. When morning comes, clean your altar of attention. Remove the names that carry storm clouds into your day. Place in their stead the names of those who respect your gates. Archangel Michael says, you felt the chill because winter was at your door, but you remembered your fire. You were almost convinced to walk barefoot across a floor of broken glass, but you found your shoes. You were almost ready to say yes, and then you remembered your name. Two people tried to choreograph your downfall. You danced out of the room. They tried to sell you a mirror where your fears stared back. You opened a window instead. They tried to shrink your horizon. You moved the horizon closer by choosing who may walk with you. Archangel Michael says, keep walking. The ones meant for you will not need to push your pace, borrow your password, or dim your questions. They will bring chair, light, and time, and the truth will not tremble in their hands. You have learned the smell of counterfeit urgency. You have learned the sound of cropped facts. You have learned the taste of your own courage. Archangel Michael says, take this blessing into your next decision. Calm mind, sharp eye, warm heart, steady step. Let your phone, your door, and your pen obey this blessing. Let your days fold around it like armor that breathes. There will be moments when you wish the test had never arrived. But iron learns its strength against the whetstone. Today, you know the difference between a friend and a funnel. Archangel Michael says, stand taller by a measure only you can feel. Your spine remembers what your soul decided. The net has become thread, and with that thread, you will stitch better days. If they send one last message asking for just 5 minutes, honor your clarity with 5 seconds of silence. Then delete the conversation like you would wipe dust from a window. Light deserves clear glass. Archangel Michael says, the path ahead is not free of challenge, but it is free of this trap. The map you needed now lives inside your ribs. When two people arrive wearing old tactics sewn into new clothes, you will recognize the stitch. Your calm is your crown now. Your questions are your keys. Your pause is the gate that opens only when your wisdom arrives with you. Archangel Michael says, I am not leaving. I am simply stepping back into the air you breathe so that every inhale reminds you of what you know. When your heart quickens, remember, patience is your ally, proof is your friend, and presence is your defender. Walk on, clear one. The trap closed on empty air and you are already beyond it. Where you are going, truth is the only currency and you are already wealthy. Archangel Michael says, you are stepping into a wiser version of yourself and the trap is losing oxygen. Plans stitched in the dark cannot breathe in the light you now carry. Keep walking, we'll turn every trick they attempt into another reason your discernment thrives. They will test your morning, when your mind is clear but your schedule is tight. One will ping you with a quick update, while the other calls 5 minutes later to confirm what you supposedly agreed to last night. This is not coordination by chance, it's choreography aimed at catching you between tasks. Archangel Michael says, make your mornings sacred borders. Before your day begins, decide what cannot be decided on the spot: money transfers, signatures, access requests. Give your day a spine that cannot bend without review. Their next move is the pre-signed kindness. A document arrives, already set up to save you time, and all you must do is acknowledge the draft. Buried within are clauses that make you responsible for things you never touched. You answer this by slowing the ink. Ask for editable originals, not screenshots. Use your own file names and store them where you keep your future safe. Archangel Michael says, never allow a contract to travel to you through the hands of pressure. Real agreements take the front door and ring the bell. They come with patience, not pounding. They will attempt the generosity loop. One offers a small favor that feels thoughtful, maybe a discount, a ride, a helpful call. The other arrives later to suggest how you might balance the kindness with a small favor of your own. Kindness is beautiful when it is free and clear. When it comes with invisible strings, it is not kindness, it is currency. You owe nothing for a gift that brought its own bill. Archangel Michael says, bless the generous but keep your ledger honest. A favor is not a foothold into your private gates. Gratitude does not include your password. Now they will try the broken mirror. They'll feed you partial truths you once spoke, then twist them until your own words become knots. The aim is not discussion, the aim is disorientation. You counter with transcripts of truth. Keep brief notes after important conversations, date, time, core points. Clarity loves short sentences that cannot be bent. Archangel Michael says, write as if a future you will need these lines to defend a beautiful decision. Your notes are the rails that keep you on your track when others try to pull you onto theirs. Documentation is devotion to your destiny. The first person, the comforter, will develop a sudden allergy to witnesses. Let's not involve others, it will just complicate things. The second person, the intimidator, will warn that bringing people in creates legal exposure. When someone's truth shakes in the presence of a witness, it is not truth, it is theater. Invite the light anyway. If their story cannot pass a second pair of eyes, it cannot pass your gate. Archangel Michael says, make a rule, all significant decisions happen in writing and in daylight, never under moonlit emergencies. Midnight panic is their tool, morning review is your armor. Your calm, not their clock, determines the pace. They may weaponize familiarity. Old pictures, inside jokes, shared memories suddenly appear to soften your guard. Nostalgia can be a key picked from your past to unlock your present. When warmth tries to unlock what verification should, pause. You can honor your history without mortgaging your future. Memory is a place to visit, not a place to sign. Archangel Michael says, the people who truly love you do not need back doors. They will approach through the path you announce, in writing, after review, with witnesses if needed. Love is comfortable in the sun. The trap expands into your technology. A calendar invite arrives that forces you to authenticate, to view details. A new security feature on an app requests your seed phrase or one-time backup key. Your answer is a wall of simplicity. Two-factor authentication on everything important, never by SMS alone when you can use an authenticator app. Password manager for long, unique keys that no human mind keeps by memory. Archangel Michael says, the lock you set today saves 100 apologies tomorrow. Spend 10 calm minutes now and keep 1,000 frantic minutes later. Prevention is a holy economy. On the ground, they pivot to helpful chaos. They'll pick a crowded cafe, a buzzing lobby, a hallway between meetings. Noise is their ally, clarity is yours. You reply with quiet geography. Ask for a simple room, clear table, printed documents, and a clock you can see. You will be amazed how quickly fog vanishes when you can hear yourself think. Archangel Michael says, you are allowed to choose your battlefield, time, place, tempo. Warriors do not wander into ambushes, they choose ground that honors their training. Your training is your structure. They push harmless steps. Just send a scan. Just share your screen for 1 minute. Just add this email as a viewer. Harmless is how the first brick gets placed without your noticing the wall. Your answer is the one-step check. Every step must prove its need, its scope, and its safety. A step that cannot explain itself will not receive your foot. Archangel Michael says, you are building a rhythm where pressure cannot dance. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. Your pace is now the metronome that keeps manipulation off beat. You will recognize the moment their script begins to crumble. They repeat a line too quickly, contradict a date, or get angry that you remembered something they hoped you'd forget. The mask slides when your questions hold still. Hold still a little longer. Silence presses truth to reveal itself. In that silence, the part of you that once rushed learns how to rest. Archangel Michael says, stillness is not empty, it is full of listening.